What's up, Nail Geeks? I am back with Alchemy Lacquers A Perfect Circle collection. This is a 6-piece set featuring various finishes, and we've got some real stunners here. I also have her polish pickup shade on my previous video, so if you haven't checked that out, get on over there and grab you some snacks. So without further ado, let's dive right in. First up is Fractal. This is described as a micro glitter lacquer with blue and green holographic micro glitter and a green to turquoise to blue shifting shimmer base. This is beautiful in person, and I don't mean that as being blue biased. This has lots of sparkle, lots of glow, and the formula is awesome. So for opacity, I'm going to suggest 2 coats on it as it really packs a punch for covering up that smile line. And I do consider myself having a slightly more prominent free edge, and it was just amazing at that second coat. So strong glowy factor happening, and at angles you can see that shimmer having more of a bluish sort of shift to it. It's on the more extreme color roll edge, but it's definitely there in person, and there's just so much prettiness happening with this. Now, I didn't have any problems in terms of texture, but it's a touch thirsty, so I think you'll be fine so long as you're using a thicker top coat. And next is Kaleidoscope. This is a medium cool gray crelly lacquer with multicolored metallic flakes. So this has a straight up crelly sort of finish. It's very smooth on brush strokes and easy to build up. Now the base color is what I would consider absolutely a cool toned sort of gray. It definitely deepens out whether you wear it at 2 or 3 coats. And I personally took it up to 2 coats on my middle nail here, and I had really wonderful buildup. Now I went in just a touch lighter on my other 3 fingers as I was swatching this one, and I went up to 3 coats on that. So really going to depend on how you apply, but overall this self levels really well. I had no issues with the flakes, and I got quite a bit of them onto the brush, so no issues with fishing or anything like that. Now it does dry down flat, so I'm going to suggest once again a thicker top coat. And next is Pinwheel. This is a purple jelly with red, orange, gold, green shifting shimmer and red metallic flakes. So this one applies more of a creamy sort of feel on application, in my opinion. Very easy to build up, and this one also self-levels very well. Now, what took my attention the most when I wore this one are the metallic flakes. So the shimmer, in my opinion, is more on the subtle side, and everything really kind of points to those red flakes contrasting against that wonderful purple base. This applies very similar to Kaleidoscope, that gray I just showed you guys. So depending on how you apply, 2 to 3 coats is going to be perfect. I went in what I consider normal for myself, kind of medium type, and I had really good opacity at 2 coats. Now this one also dries down flat, so again, you are seeing a glossy top coat on my full hand shot. And next is Bootstrap Paradox. This is a periwinkle jelly with red to orange to gold to green shifting shimmer and red to orange to gold to green shifting flakes. So this has more of a crelly, somewhat flirting with being a jelly in terms of finish. It's got a strong squish factor to it, and depending on how you apply, I think some are going to really need to go up to a 3rd coat on it. Now I went in just a touch heavy-handed on my coats, and I found that 2 coats was perfect for it. So really going to depend here on your nail length and how much you load your brush when you're applying. So you can see on the second coat here that base color absolutely starts to pop and deepen out very well. I do agree with the official description. This is a periwinkle sort of color. It is just really sitting on the fence there between this nice lilac sort of color and having a blue tone to it as well. Now again, you are seeing a glossy top coat on my full hand shot. And next is Mandala. This is a Tiffany blue crelly with scattered silver shimmer and silver flakes. So this one has a straight up crelly formula to it, not really leaning one way or another. It's very smooth on application, and I'm really digging her paddle brushes. They are absolutely helping to have these apply really, really well. Now, the base color, I do agree, is a Tiffany sort of blue, but I do think it does heavily flirt with being a somewhat powder blue as well. So kind of playing up against your lighting there, but watching the playback here on my monitors, I do think this is what I'm seeing in person. This is packed full of flakes, and you'll get that nice dense sort of scatter across your nails. Now this one, I felt like I could have gone up to a third coat with it. So depending on your preference, I think this one's going to be fully opaque at 3 coats. And lastly is Ouroboros. This is a peach crelly with green to blue shifting shimmer. So this one is what I'm going to call the sister to her PPU shade. Both of them are absolute stunners. I highly recommend picking up her PPU shade. I fell in love with it. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's beautiful and hot pink with this coral vibe versus this one that has, in my opinion, straight up peachy sort of vibes with it. The shimmer here is also very strong. It gives off this limey green sort of gold cast in indoor lighting, and at angles, that blue shift, I'm seeing at really extreme angles. So you'll definitely have to be in shaded lighting, and it kind of takes on this sort of purpley blue sort of effect. I do think it's subtle, and what you're mostly going to see is what you see on the video with this indoor, somewhat direct lighting appearance of that shimmer. Now for opacity, I'm going to suggest 3 coats. Builds up very easy, very smooth, and such a perfect summer shade, and finish off with a glossy top coat. Now the collection will release Saturday, May 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All of the colors in this collection are $11.50 each. There will be a very limited number of full sets available, so you can grab all 6 colors for $64.50. I will link Alchemy's shop below for you guys, and her Facebook fan group if you want to see additional swatches, sneak peeks, all that good stuff, and if you haven't joined already. And I'll break all this information down below in the description box. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.